Hey, allyuh, welcome and welcome back. I'm Reon and this is Reese Teas, where we have conversations that matter with people who care. Join me as I connect and reconnect with new and old friends as we sip tea, spill tea, and catch up on everything that's happening in their lives and in the world. So today we have a very special guest. We have my friend Johnathan Samuel, the winner of the recently concluded Man of the World Trinidad and Tobago pageant. So let's welcome and congratulate Johnathan Samuel.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So I remember like around this time last year when I was getting ready for Manhunt, I remember you had messaged me expressing that you had an interest in partaking in a male pageant. What made you decide to like finally like jump out yourself, as we say here, and do it?
No, but this wasn't my first pageant, huh?
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, I would have participated in Mr. Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
That is more a regional competition
Mm-hmm.
where I would have placed first runner-up.
Mm-hmm.
And after that was concluded, I was always looking for one more pageant to participate in, quote unquote, calling it my retirement pageant.
Understood. Trust me, I
So I was
understand.
looking for a pageant. I mean, because life is so hectic right now,
Mm-hmm.
there's very little time to do the extracurriculars.
Understood.
So I wanted my retirement pageant, and I was looking for one. And because in the Caribbean, or Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the Caribbean, male pageantry isn't really a thing, at least
So
not as yet.
therefore, it is a searcher.
Yes,
It is
yes.
absolutely a search. I know that.
And you always have to look for which one is reputable, which one has a reputation.
Correct.
So I saw Manhunt, but I didn't get the information in time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I will
my
say
friend would have
between you
sent
and
me.
I think just for those out there who might be interested in partaking in a show, I think we can both agree the research is important because there are shows out there, but sometimes when you do the research, you look into them, you realize and especially I know you personally, and I know you're a young man who you carry yourself a certain way. A lot of the male pageants
Yeah.
out there will
Not every organization would have the same values that you do.
lovely. That's
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. So I think it's important to find a show that aligns with your values. There's a show, I'll let you get back to
Very
your story
important.
just now. There's a show that we used to have here locally. And I remember the final question. There was a bag with different sex toys. I kid you not. And the guys would take the sex toy out of the bag, and the question was, what would you do with this?
Huh?
I kid you not.
I mean, to each their own. To each their own.
To each their own.
No judgment whatsoever.
No. But that just
Whatever
didn't align with my values.
Just whatever you're comfortable with.
So you're looking for a show. You're looking for a show with a good reputation that aligns with your values.
My
And
friend would have sent me the link for the invitation for the local leg of Man of the World, Trinidad and Tobago. Before actually applying, I did the research. This was actually the fourth year, the fourth installment of the competition, the international competition. And everything aligned. So I decided to enter and I participated and here I am.
nice. And the rest is history, as they say. Johnathan, can you tell us what is the actual process like from auditioning to then coronation night?
Okay, so at least for me, I'm very forward thinking. So from the time I saw what the criteria were, as soon as I decided, yes, I am participating, I already had in my mind what I was going to wear for this, what I need to get for that, down to materials I already had in my head. I knew who I was going to get to make whatever I need to get made. So also, before the night, we have training sessions. So we had someone that helped us with choreography. We had someone that helped us with speech training. We had someone come in to do motivational speaking, just to make sure that all of the guys, they all right, you're prepared mentally for the competition, which is very important. I think we'll get into that a bit later. It's very, very important.
Sure. During an interview I had recently with a former Miss Trinidad and Tobago world contestant, we were talking about what the future of pageantry looks like, because for a lot of people, they believe that pageants are outdated. So first of all, what would you say to someone who holds the opinion that pageants are outdated?
I don't think it is. I mean, granted, it is not perceived to be as relevant given the larger scheme of things and what's going on in the world. However, I still think it plays an important role in that people think or have the perception that pageantry is just about this thin veil of superficiality. We just want to go out there, look nice, wear swimsuits, take photos, be in the limelight, as they say. But believe it or not, there's a lot of work that goes into pageantry. A lot of discipline that has to be maintained.
Absolutely.
It also creates a platform. It also creates a platform for individual socio-economic causes to be highlighted.
Agreed.
Because the side of pageantry that people don't see is the amount of charity work that takes place. For example, Miss World Trinidad and Tobago. Last week, I was invited to their Beauty with a Purpose of charity presentations. And there are lots of charities, organizations that, were it not for that
collaboration
platform,
with Miss World?
yes, as well as that platform, would not have been known, because there are a lot of charities that I was not aware of.
Understood. So that the Miss Real Pageant had to put certain charities in a spotlight, not for fame, but rather so that other people who may not have been aware, who might be willing to help, would now know about it.
Correct.
Okay, I can see that. And with everything that's happening in the world with the pandemic in particular, what do you think the future pageantry looks like?
That's a bit tough, because one of the things I enjoyed about my last pageant particularly is the meeting of the other contestants. Some of my very good friends were from that pageant. We still communicate to this day. So you take away the social aspect of it, or at least it becomes more difficult to be able to interact in that way and learn from each other.
Understood.
There is the possibility to have it hosted virtually, but that, for me, takes away the essence of the entire thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you know how your show will be affected by the pandemic? Where is the finals going to be?
Just like you, it'll be in the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
Because of they're still working out travel restrictions with all the other countries and quarantine, etc. measures. The tentative date for the show is May 21st. That's the last communication that they would have sent to us.
Understood.
But we're still waiting for confirmed.
Okay, I feel you. I really appreciate the camaraderie that you would have had with your fellow contestants, as you mentioned. But jump high, jump low, we all want to win. Did you think you were going to win?
Correct. Believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, it was not at the forefront of my mind that I will definitely win.
Okay.
Because what people don't know is that pageantry is not just about a body. And I came in with a body.
But the body.
Quote unquote. There's a lot of different aspects.
You're an icon, Johnathan. Stop it. Don't be humble on him. You came in with the body.
I tried.
You succeed.
It's a lot of work. It's a daily struggle.
Trust me, I know. Trust me. And some days you win, and some days licoriceness and laziness win.
I know that's right.
This is it. But aside from the physique,
right,
you have to be able to dress well. You have to be able to speak well. You have to be talented. You have to be passionate about causes and charities, and how do you highlight them in a positive and empathetic light to society. All of those things encompass the entire person. And there are a lot of other contestants who possess a lot of those qualities. So it's not, I didn't go in thinking, yes, I will win, even though it's the original intention of entering. But I'm glad everything turned out well.
Okay, what was going through your mind at coronation moment? That's in when it was down to you and who came second?
Well, it went from final 10 to final 5, top 5.
From top
they
5
announced the 3 title holders from the top 5. Man of the World, which in this form is the most elite, is the most prominent of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
There is Mr. Elite, and then there's Mr. Universe.
And all 3 contestants with all 3 titles are going to different shows?
Correct.
Oh, nice. I mean, that's because I think a lot of shows is either you win or you suck out. So it's good to know that in this particular instance, you had a 1 in 3 chance of going somewhere.
True. But we only found that out a few weeks before the actual final night of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was from a top 5 to the 3 title holders.
So
when you were standing there with the other members of the top 5,
yeah,
what was going through your mind?
At that moment, what was going through my mind, honestly, is everything that I could have done better. What mistakes did I make? Where did I lose marks? What could I have improved on? And that, I would say, almost stress got a bit more intense as they announced 3rd place. They announced 2nd place. I'm like, okay, so there are other persons who did very, very well.
Right, because now you're standing there and it's you and 2 others, and it's either you win or you really, really didn't. Because now there are already 2 other title holders up there, so there's only 1 more title to have or nothing.
Yeah.
And the other guys next to you felt as though they did well as well.
Yeah, they did amazingly. I mean, each person has their strong suits, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
They did extremely well in different categories. So it's not going to say this person is the clear winner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was possible to say that. So
you are thinking, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, and then you hear your name. What happens then?
Like it's okay. So when you look at Miss Universe or any international pageant,
right,
and you see the reaction, you see the knees get weak, you see they almost start to cry. Like that's a real experience.
Okay.
That is a real experience because it would validate that all of your hard work meant something, or it translated well. And my knees did get a bit weak. There was almost a tear. Almost a tear,
okay.
But let's suck that back up inside.
Yeah. Understood. In the lead up to the show, you and the other contestants would have experienced a bit of cyberbullying from John Public when your photos were uploaded onto social media.
Yeah.
Can you shed some light on what was going through your mind when you saw the comments?
Now, to be extremely honest, I didn't pay attention to it as much.
Mm-hmm.
However, my primary concern was because even though in our training sessions, not just about we come training, we compete and we go home, there was actual sharing of concerns and fears and why persons would have entered the competition, and some persons would have entered with whether it be low self-esteem, low confidence. And my main concern was how is this going to affect them? Because they would have entered the pageant with the intentions of boosting that level of self-esteem, boosting that level of confidence. And here they are taking the step into the public light and being received or perceived in a negative way. So my main concern would have been for those contestants who weren't as mentally prepared for the negative feedback from the general public.
Okay, that's very altruistic of you. Now, first of all, I wouldn't have read all the comments myself, but I am curious. In all things, there is good and bad. Do you think, was there any comment you saw, any comment you read or heard of that you thought to yourself, well, there might be some truth to it, or I could use this constructively? Did that at all occur?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So the general consensus from the comments were either extremely supportive or extremely negative. Like there was nothing in between.
Okay.
And so even though I didn't go through the comments, I try not to feed from that negativity. I would have encouraged some of the others to focus on the positive comments and not the negative. Because I was saying this to someone recently, in every single thing that every single one of us do, there is going to be either an individual or individuals, a group of persons, a sector of society, as you would have it, that would disagree. And you're not going to be able to please every single person.
Understood.
All the time.
Understood.
So as long as it feels right to you and is not negatively affecting someone else, there is zero need to give in to the negative that is being spewed towards you in this case.
Thank you, Johnathan. And I think that is applicable to anybody, not just somebody who's participating in a pageant or in public life. That can apply to anything that you put your energy to that other people may have an issue with. If you were face to face with one of your critics today, what would you say to them?
I would encourage them to be a lot more open-minded. One of the reasons I would have entered pageantry, aside from my love for stage, is because I would have realized that there is a level of underrepresentation in male pageantry in Trinidad and Tobago, by extension the Caribbean. And one of the reasons I would have entered into pageantry is to help break those stereotypes or break those ideologies that men who participate in pageantry is one way, or men who participate in competitions like these are automatically viewed as something else. There is a level of awareness that has to be brought to light to change those perceptions. And that is my primary goal for participating in male pageantry. And I just want to share that as widely as I possibly can.
Johnathan, you have no idea how much you just spoke to my spirit. Because yeah, you have no idea. I promise you, in a different way, my mission was similar, and not to make this about me at all. There are things that you're saying without saying, and I know that people who saw the comments and followed the show could piece it together. For me, I saw a vast underrepresentation in the show I participated in, and in shows in general, with people that looked like me. Like, you would go through the photos of all the shows and be like, but where are we? I remember sitting and talking to a friend of mine, and she said, if you don't win, will you be okay? Because like you and I both said, winning, jump high, jump low, winning is in your mind. For me, and I said it to her then, and I feel it now, and you said it to me again, and you said it to me just then, and I swear to you, it was a reminder that I needed, that whether or not I won, there was a mission that was bigger than me, and bigger than probably I even understand, and that was, to the best of my ability, to be that which I do not see. Yeah. And I'm so proud to hear that you're doing the same.
Because you would not believe the amount of persons who don't, in this platform, don't have a voice or afraid to make themselves present in this way.
Mm-hmm.
There are persons who would have messaged me saying that yes, they wanted to participate, but they were afraid. They wanted to compete, but this or but that. And to hear that I would have encouraged or motivated them in such a positive way, it really is an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. And Johnathan, I would say to you, for me, like one of the people who messaged me is somebody who I like adore as like a role model in fashion, that is. Pageantry and modeling, they're cousins, but they have differences. And I feel like people like the speaking element
Right.
is daunting to them, or the talent element is daunting to them. But yeah, I remember thinking, you were afraid to do this, like you are it, like you are the blueprint. And he was just like, nah, boy, I kudos to you, but I could never. And this is somebody who has modeled internationally and is well recognized, and who is hopes and dreams and of what I wish I could have been as a model. And this person is saying back to me,
yeah,
that this thing that you did is something that I would have wanted to have done and didn't, you know? So I understand where you're coming from, and I definitely think, and there are people who you inspired who will not reach out to you. But I just want you to know that more than you will ever know, there are people who are looking on and who are inspired, not necessarily to do what you are doing, but to do things that they want to do because you did this.
but are afraid too.
But I'm afraid too.
Correct.
So what does the preparation for the world final look like for you?